Hi, and welcome to an episode of Scavenger Life. This is episode number 349 at scavengerlife.com.
I have a question for you, right?
What's up, JJ?
Have you ever heard... No.
What was...
You know...
Wait. I just want to go back to the Led Zeppelin thing. Because, there were a couple people that were like, I can't believe you never heard of that. I'm like... To me, it's this meme that I never heard of. Yeah. It was hilarious.
And so, what did you find when you so
I googled it.
Does anyone remember laughter?
Does anyone? It's like a shot from one of their live performances in 1969 or whatever. It's some film, and that's just a thing he says during a
concert,
Stairway to Heaven,
right?
And people are just like, why did he say that? It's just funny. But, it's why would anybody say anything during a song,
Yeah.
So anyway, that was hilarious. Sorry.
So we were talking on the forum this week, and people were talking about, and it's a good question. I guess the question is, how much is too much?
In terms of inventory, right?
Right, and so let's unpack that. So, when people write us or, call in, they're like, how do I get started?
Right.
Hey, how do I get started on eBay?
You sound like a Muppet.
And so our go-to answer is
500 listings.
Put up 500 items.
And you know what? A lot of people do not want to hear that.
Right.
One of my friends asked me that the other day. And she was like, so, how much to get started? I'm like, 500 listings. She has, 20 things. I'm like, yeah.
And so someone was bringing up a good point, that's not a good goal. The goal isn't just to have a big inventory. Because what that seems to mean is it's sell a lot of stuff. You're just putting up stuff that nobody wants, so you're just gathering,
Right.
And that's a good point of view. I guess my thing is, when we say having a large inventory, that isn't the goal. It's just a strategy. The strategy is we don't, we're out there scavenging. It's not like we're wholesalers. It's not like we're a retail store where we're doing market research to see what sells the best. And then we buy, 1,000 items of that or 10,000 items of that. And then we're trying to sell all that stuff in 30 days.
Right.
We're scavengers.
Yeah, so people, it was interesting because people were comparing, large inventory of like you said, wholesale or commodity items versus weird, unique, bizarre, stuff you find in the world.
Right.
It's to me, it's two very different worlds.
I mean, scavenge, being a scavenger or being a person that sells things online, there's a range of different kinds of people. And we're on the spectrum probably on one end where we're looking for the stuff that is worthless. For the most part. I mean, I'd say...
You have to qualify that statement.
Right. I mean, a big part of our inventory is stuff that we find that nobody wants. I mean, it's not a worthless...
in the immediate area wants.
To us, but who we buy it from doesn't think it's worth a lot. Right. So we buy it for very, very cheap.
Little, yeah.
But the thing is, this stuff, again, isn't stuff that people want right away. There might be, as I always say, there might only be 100 people on the planet Earth who might want this item.
Right.
So we have to put this up and wait for one of those 100 people to find it.
Right.
And so our thing is we put up as much stuff as we can.
So that those few people...
and I've said this before, our large inventory is really just keywords. It's even not about items. It's about how many keywords we can put up into our store to catch those people doing a...
Very specific searches.
A search, right.
Right, very specific.
So the more items we have in our inventory, the more keywords we have, and the more ways we could grab someone trying to find that thing.
Right.
And that's a much different strategy than, people that sell on Amazon or, sell, brand new stuff or commodity items, Right,
and also, some of the conversation on the forums was fueled by people who are scavengers now, but who used to work in traditional retail.
Right.
And they were bringing up points that are very different than Scavenger.
It's like, they're like, we would get fired if we ordered inventory that didn't
sell in a year.
Yeah. or under, in 3 months.
Right. Yeah.
And
it's just,
I get that. We're totally different model.
It's a totally different model.
And it is interesting. Like, I guess in a perfect world, everything we put up would sell right away. Right. So we should have almost no inventory. We have
a bookshelf
at all. But doesn't happen even in the real world.
Yeah,
you go to a Walmart and they have millions of items just on their shelves.
And restocked every day.
Right, and they're trying to sell stuff.
Right.
I mean, the other question I have is like, how much inventory is too much inventory? I mean, so we have 6,000 items.
Right.
Is that a lot? I don't know. I mean, for a person who is selling out of a closet, they're like, that's
a lot.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
If you talk to a guy who has 10 employees and has like a business in a big old warehouse, he's like, 6,000 items? I do that in a day.
That's
so I think the size of your inventory is going to just be dependent on what your circumstances are,
Right. And what you want to do. I mean, that's the other thing is like, there are several people on the forum who are like, I have less than 500 items and that is all I want to deal with. It's all I have storage for. I have a very high sell-through rate because I keep my prices low and, lower than me.
Right.
So, it's just it's like, okay, and that works for you. And that's good.
And, and so these people that we're bringing up at this point, I mean, it's smart, right?
Right.
We can't just judge we don't judge like, hey, we have 6,000 items in our inventory. We're winners, It's no.
Yeah.
That's a strategy. The goal is, as I said before, to make at least $1,000 a week.
Right.
Week in and week out, at least.
Yeah.
To own our own time.
Yeah.
To be able to take off time and still make at least that $1,000 every week. So we want a big enough inventory where we could walk away and things just sell.
And we've done that.
Right. And
it works.
And we've done that,
Yeah,
and so, and that our inventory doesn't cost us a lot, know. So we're different from like the people I see on YouTube who are, slapping down a credit card and buying, a white label or private a label thing. Where in China they spend $10,000 on a bunch of inventory. For us, it's about we want to keep our inventory costs as low as possible, so that way we don't stress if it takes a long time to sell because it really didn't cost us anything.
Right.
Like we sleep very well at night when our cats aren't waking us up.
We'll talk about that later.
We sleep very well at night. I'm not thinking like, oh my God, this inventory, it's burning a hole in my pocket.
Oh, I never, that is never, the thing that's funny is like, the things that cause me stress almost never have to do with eBay.
Right.
I'm like, that is the most chill, even when we get returns, even though we have problems with customers, that stuff is like so minimal. So including inventory costs,
right?
Yeah.
So because our inventory costs are so, it doesn't cost us a whole lot to buy. To put it up on eBay, it doesn't cost us anything. I mean,
it's not much.
With an anchor store,
well, it's $300 a month.
$300 a month, but we can have up to 10,000 items.
Yeah.
So for $300, that's
it's great.
Nothing.
Yeah. No,
and then storage is cheap. I know we just spent a bunch of money on a building, but really that is an asset and it's there.
And the other thing, if you're paying for storage, that's a tax write-off.
Yeah.
I love tax write-offs.
Yeah. So like for instance, but this past week, we talked about how I wanted to build a deck at one of our rentals.
Redo it.
Right. We pulled up all these old pine boards, your typical pressure-treated wood.
Yeah.
Parts of it were just looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I bought some really nice, like some tropical hardwood.
Yeah.
And me and this guy spent the week putting this down. And I didn't do really any eBay. And that was fine. And we still did very well.
Yeah.
And we've done it before where we've, been away for 3 months at a time, and our income has still been okay.
Yeah, there has been times where we have not listed for that long.
Right.
Which is mind-blowing, but true.
So I think everyone has to ask themselves how large of an inventory is too large. And if you just have a large inventory, but you're only making $100 a week, you got to
reevaluate it.
The strategy isn't doing well for you.
But the thing that we always say, and sometimes people will be like, well, you guys have so much inventory and you have unlimited space and, blah, blah, blah. And you have 6,000 listings and whatever.
Do people talk like that?
Who talks like that? My mom.
Yeah.
But the thing we always stress is, like, you have to do what works for you.
Yeah.
End of story. Like, one person's store is going to could be similar. You could be scavenging similar things. You just have to make it work for you. And just make it make sense. Like, I don't like it when people compare to each other. If they're similar and they're like, what works for you, But it's like when you compare, because there are other sellers where, like, they'll have 500 items and they'll make more than us in a week. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But that's not the question you should be asking. You should be asking, what is working for me?
Doing right.
What are they doing right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And could I make that work in my
life?
But yeah, I mean, we all have to ask those questions of ourselves. And
like, I think of someone like Steven Schultz, where he has not a huge amount of inventory, but his inventory is very high end, and he's willing to search for that inventory, repair that inventory, pack that inventory, make videos of that inventory.
Right. He's the one, we post his video every Wednesday.
Video.
And he focuses a lot on vintage electronics.
And vintage stereo equipment.
So he's willing to go and spend, $500 on like a piece of equipment and then sell it for $2,000. It's within 2 weeks.
Yeah, so
much different from our,
Right, so if you just looked at his numbers, his pure data, you would be like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong with my numbers? But you have to think about, what is he doing that's different, that I'm like, I'm not a stereo, like, I don't know how to repair that stuff. I'm sure I could learn, but I don't want to, that's not my specialty, My specialty is dirty old shoes that I find. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, you just can't compare yourself to other people. You just have to say, this works for me, this is what I like doing every day, and look, I just sold something, so.
Yeah, so, I mean, when someone says, how do I sell on eBay, and our answer is, put 500 items up on eBay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just kind of a short way of saying, just get to work, you know? And in the process of listing 500 items, or even if they just do 100, just in that a process of doing it, then they've learned how to, like, take pictures, how to figure out how the eBay site works. They'll learn about how to ship it. They'll learn, and as a sell stuff, they'll learn, like, oh, I'm selling like stuff for $5. I shouldn't do that. Or I'm selling all these books that my mom gave me, and I hate doing it, so I don't want to do that. So they'll learn what they enjoy to do. So
you learn fast.
I mean, I guess at the more professional way, if we were gurus, we would say, well, you should first do some market research, and let's make some spreadsheets and then correlate them to each other and figure out.
There are so many people who are into spreadsheets.
Figure out the highest return rate on this stuff,
You're like,
and we're talking just to like normal people, and they're just like, I don't know what any of that is, and I've never made a spreadsheet, and just I'm gonna stop being a part of this.
Well, another good thing to say to new people too is sell stuff that's in your house that you want to get rid of.
Right.
That's the easiest.
Go
way
into
to start.
your kids' rooms and
sell all their
toys that they don't play with. So anyway, I mean, there's all levels of stuff, and then as you start to put stuff up, then you can get into like doing spreadsheets and becoming more like targeted on what you're doing.
If you want to do that, I've never done that.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
I'm gonna sell it. We run a seemingly successful eBay business, and we don't do any of that stuff. We're more like the artist types, where we're like, we're going by instinct.
Yeah, instinct
and feeling. How does that shaving mug make me feel?
The shaving mug, yeah.
It makes me feel good.
It's awesome.
And it just sold. Okay.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, that's just my thought of the day.
That's my thought of the week. Yes.
Okay, a couple things on eBay. We had a little bird help us with our confusion with guaranteed shipping.
Right.
So our problem had been this. We have 6,000 items. When I would act like a buyer and go to our store and search for items in our own zip code, only half of those items would say they would get shipped within 3 days.
Would delivered in 3 days.
Right. That's crazy. Well, this little bird told us that, I don't know if it's an eBay bug, but if we were to search our store from any other zip code, everything shows up. So if we acted like we were in California,
right,
all the items say that they will ship within.
I feel like I tried that before and it didn't work, but maybe it changed.
Yeah.
Something changed, but
yeah. So I'm not sure why searching within our own zip code would not show all the items. Because I mean, I just did that because I'm like,
obviously,
I'm the closest person to our store.
Right.
So anyway, that's good. I mean, you know.
So okay, yeah.
Yeah, so thank you for that person that helped us.
Yes.
We appreciate that. Thank you to John in Britain. He sent us a little hollow, like a handmade hollow box.
Hollow book.
Book, yeah.
Box. I'm sure people have found these when scavenging. It was not as nice. You know, the ones I found are not as nice as this one.
Right. So, he's taken a couple of books and then he cuts out the inside.
It makes it into a box.
Right, so then you can put it on the shelf and you can hide your stuff in it.
It's great.
Yep.
I actually was looking at our bookshelf just now and I was like, I don't see where those are. And then I remembered which ones they were.
So I put some stuff in there and I hope I can find them again in our bookstore.
I hope we remember that stuff is in there.
That's very cool. He said that he had been working, I think he said, for a company for like 43 years, for a long time. And he's just, recently, I guess, has been able to go full-time selling on eBay. And he actually posts on our forum where he goes to car boot sales. Like yard sales or flea markets and finds stuff. And he's always posting pictures of, like, what's this weird item,
Yep.
Cool. And thank you for everyone who offered us parking in Nashville.
Yes.
We had, a bunch of
several people say we could park at their houses.
Yep. So we got a spot. I hope that the people that, offered and we accepted don't mind our dirty old pickup parked in front of their house.
We're like dirty pickup
I don't wash my truck. But,
they're like, oh, we regret letting you park at our house because now the value of our neighborhood went down.
When we're going to an auction and we load up, we really do look like Sanford and Son,
Yeah, like no joke.
An old truck with stuff strapped.
The truck's not that old. It's just dirty as hell.
Yeah. Okay, a couple random things before we do our numbers. Random. This is something, so people have been saying, like, we sell things on Letgo and OfferUp. These, like, online.
They're apps.
It's like Craigslist.
Yeah, it's just an app.
But it's an app, and I guess people are into it. And so Orion said, I think I'll try it. Yeah,
and I have tried it, and I think I sold... Well, look, I bought something on Letgo for a great bargain. The washer-dryer.
Yep.
Incredible bargain. Have I sold anything? I sold one thing. I sold one vacuum cleaner for $30.
That's right, we did.
But that's it. I have so many other things up there.
So we put a bunch of furniture and stuff that we...
Household
big
stuff.
The problem I see is it's just like so many dumb questions with nobody buying. Because when you check out the app, they have like it's pre-filled in
Letgo does
things, and so the
first one is it available?
Questions are: is it available?
Is it negotiable?
How low will we go? Yeah. And so we're always getting those kind of questions, and then we'll answer, and then no one writes back.
For some reason I have a million vacuum cleaners because we have like 3 houses. Okay, so I'm getting rid of certain vacuum cleaners, and this one person's like, "Does it work?" Dude, I'm not gonna sell you a vacuum cleaner that doesn't work. How old is it? I don't know. Right. You're just like, yes, it works. It's a couple of years old.
And when I look for stuff for sale in our area,
oh, it's so depressing.
It's really depressing.
It's super depressing.
It's just like Walmart clothes, like photographed,
or
like on a dirty bed. You know,
it's just like think of the worst listings on eBay. There it is.
And that's normally how it all.
I mean,
goes.
and the funny thing is, like with OfferUp or LetGo especially, like because it's an app. So on LetGo, it like automatically makes a title for you and just like posts it right away without any details. And then you have to go back and like write your own. It's like blue shelf. You're like, that is totally not what this is.
I've seen that where like it was like a photo of a wood stove, but the title had been like I don't know, like steel shelf, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Because people don't realize like, you know, on Craigslist you just like type all that stuff. So it gets very automated and sloppy, and you're just like, what the heck?
So what's interesting to me is that it makes me appreciate eBay and Amazon even more, because there is a little bit of a barrier that people have to jump up to to make their listings
sales,
to make sales, like because these new apps make it so easy, that really the bar is so low that it's just a lot of noise, you know.
It's a lot of noise, it's a lot of trash, like actual garbage that you don't want to buy. And it's too bad, because you're like, oh, I'm trying to put up like a nice whatever thing.
And plus it's
like,
just things like, there were a couple things I saw where I was like, I could probably flip that. And I would like write them, you know, like, I'll buy it. And they're like, I sold it. And
then they don't mark it as sold.
And then I'm
why
like,
is it still active?
Why don't you take it? I mean, I don't actually say that to them because they don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, well, take it down.
Well, it's like, you're just going to get messages about this forever until you, I don't know, people don't care.
Anyway. I mean, I've heard a lot about these apps, mainly from scavengers who use it to buy stuff, because they buy phones and flip them. And,
well, what's funny is I was looking the other day, and some guy was just selling phones, like, because you can click on their profile, like, what's this person selling? It's like phone. And the other funny thing about OfferUp and everything that you can't do on Craigslist is leave people reviews. So some lady was like, this guy bought my phone and then resold it on OfferUp for double the price, which to me, I'm like, good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
But it's funny that someone was like mad about that. You're like, he's a reseller. Like, that's the whole point, and he should be able to do that. But it's just a funny system. I don't know. It's, you know, people are always like, it's the eBay killer, and you're just like, nope, not at all.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, to me, it's like, instead of thinking like eBay is getting killed, it's more just like, I think it's just more people are coming into the scene. Not only
different places,
selling stuff, but it's more people are buying stuff online. It's just growing. You know?
No matter where
it's not like there's this like set number of people that buy stuff online that will never get bigger. It's only that, and then there's more and more competitors going for the same group of people. It's just more and more people are buying stuff online, and so the population is getting bigger and bigger. You know.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's the future.
Okay, I love to talk about this. I had such a great day yesterday. It's really like one of the best days of my life.
Oh, that's super depressing.
Because we were organizing, and I loved it.
Look, we did it together, because there are times where you're like, you have to put all this stuff away and organize it. And I'm like, I don't want to.
Right, we have tools because we do all this work on these rentals, and we have tools and stuff and screws. And normally in our bedroom, our floor will be covered in just tools.
It just got worse and worse.
And I would try and put them away, but we didn't have a good way to organize it. So we went to Lowe's and we bought like one of those big tool chests, like stand-up tool carts.
It was a smaller one though. Not like when you think of those and you think of like the Snap-on ones that cost like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, we just bought the cheap ones. Yeah, a couple $100. But you know, it's nice and big. It had like 11 drawers.
Yep.
And we spent the day, or we spent a couple hours.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Like organizing it, labeling it.
I had my label maker.
Oh, it felt so good. Screwdrivers, wrenches. Like so that way, because in our house, I'm not the guy that fixes anything. Like, I'm not the fix-it guy.
Who's the fix-it guy?
You're the fix-it person. So when you have an emergency call,
girl,
you can go out there.
This is so funny.
And get like a little bag and put your tools in there.
Look, I've had emergency calls where I have to go fix something at the rental.
And then you'll go fix it, and then you'll come back and then put it back where it needs to go.
Somebody's going to comment on the cat.
She's noisy.
She's very vocal, and what's really funny is people are like, "You got to pay attention to your cat."
She doesn't want anything.
She doesn't want anything. You're like, you got fed.
Yeah.
You have everything you could possibly need.
Right.
You have all your little beds and tents, and she just likes to talk. Okay, so yes, so we organized tools, and we also so that was very exciting. I did not want to do that. I never want to do it again, which thank God I don't have to.
Yep.
But we organized, so we sell a lot of like luggage and tote bags and duffel bags and like stuff like that. We have a crap load of that stuff. But
fanny packs.
Fanny packs, yeah. Bum bags for those in the UK. Okay, so our bags were not organized well. They were organized by color, which is a horrible way to organize
we would just
bags.
have like bins of like dark bags and bright bags. And
and like, look, I'm talking like 5 or 6 of those double bins full of bags. So I'd be like, oh, it's not in this bin. I have no idea which. I have to look through every single bin for this stupid tote bag, you know?
So we have not, moved over to a system that people It's so smart that people suggest it. It's such a smart thing to do.
Hard to do it with 6,000.
Where if you have because now we have all these great shelves, it's like if you walk into a warehouse, and it could be a system where this bag is in like 1A 0003 2B XY.
But it's not. It's in dark bags.
Well, instead we took all the bags and we dumped them out, and we now have broken them up into like a bin of backpacks of
tote bags
of
messenger bags,
duffel bags, right? A laptop bag.
So I'm like, is this a duffel bag? Yes, it's in the duffel bag bin. End of story.
I think we will do with the inventory system. Really, for us, we do things when it needs to get done. Right now, it's still like I can find stuff. If we can hire a person to actually help us to ship,
then
we would have to actually go that step, because it's a big thing.
Now, speaking of cats waking you up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I tripped over one of our cats and I broke my iPhone. It fell down, and it didn't just shatter the thing. It like actually like broke off the whole front, so nothing would come on.
Well, what's funny is like when you press one of the buttons, you can see that it lights up, but the whole touch screen.
So I've had a cell phone like probably most people since I got one in 2000. So almost Nokia. 2 decades. Yeah, I loved my old. It's Nokia. So anyway, almost 2 decades of having a phone. It's the first time I've ever.
You've never broken your phone.
I've never cracked it.
You know what's funny though? Remember in December, I have had also a cell phone since even before that, right? And I've had an iPhone since they came out. This is the first time I've ever broke my iPhone. So I shattered my screen too. The phone still worked, thank God. So I just use it with a cracked screen.
And so, as Scavengers, you can take them to those stores and they'll change a screen for like $80, which is crazy.
My phone's not worth $80.
So Orion is being like the super thrifty, obsessed person. Did you learn how to fix the iPhone screen? It's really easy, right? You just buy it.
Yeah, so when I broke my phone, I dropped it, and we were going to New York like the next day, and I was like, well, I'll go to one of those shops, I'll get them to replace it, no big deal. So I went to one of those shops, and they're like, okay, that'll be $80. I was like, no. So I bought a screen for $20. You can buy them online, you can buy them on eBay. So
I broke my phone, and then I take it to its repair person,
which is me.
Okay, this week we had a much better week. We had days where we sold like over 10 items. It was wonderful. So we sold 53 items in our main store for about $2,000.
Thank God.
And then in our second store, we sold, about $250.
I don't even remember selling stuff in the second store, but apparently we did.
Yeah. So I mean, again, this is a good, like, if you're kind of new and you've been only hearing this for a couple of weeks, this is how it works. You'll have a week where it just seems kind of slow, and then it comes back, So that feeling of this isn't going to work, it goes away as long as you just push through.
Yeah.
And so, it's great. A couple things we sold that was cool. We sold a stool. Is that's what you would call it?
Yeah, it's like a folding travel stool, but the brand is Land Rover,
right.
So it's like a high end. It's canvas and leather and like solid oak.
Yeah, we got it at the auction where I got those Insane Clown Posse hats.
Yeah.
So it's one of those auctions where they have multiple people doing auctions at the same time.
Like 2 different rooms.
Auctioneer. So you were in one room and I was in the other room.
Yeah.
So I just bought the Insane Clown Posse hats and all the farmers are like,
who is this loser?
And then, so I'm holding all these Insane Clown Posse hats in a box and then I'm bidding on a Land Rover stool. I think I really paid like $30 for it. But
for the stool, but there was a stool and a bag. Did the bag come with the stool? Because they were like matching.
I think I bought them separately.
Okay.
But I just know I paid, more than I would have thought. But I knew, I was like, this thing's going to sell.
Yeah.
We put it up. We started getting people who would write us saying like, I'll give you $100
something
right away.
Right.
And we just knew if we just held out, and it sold. It's within 2 weeks for full price
for $212.
Yeah.
As you did not mention.
Oh my God, I hate
200.
I hate when I do that.
Yeah. So I had make offer, and then people were giving me all these lowball offers. I'm like, this is so worth $200. So I just took off make offer, and then someone bought it for a full price.
We sold a jacket, a duster. A goth jacket.
Yeah.
For $135.
It was like a black denim duster, which is basically like a trench coat, but it's like a cowboy trench coat.
Well, it would either be worn by a cowboy or like a guy with like black lipstick, So either one of those.
One of those people.
We had talked about this a week ago, but I'll say it again. We sold, because I'm so excited by it, we did sell that Insane Clown Posse hat for
$100 to someone in Australia.
Yeah. I love it. Yep. You sold some broken medical equipment for $67 now, to someone in Korea.
Yes, it was one of those things where you like examine your ear.
Yep.
But what's it called? You don't know. I forget.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So the issue was it had a battery inside, like a rechargeable battery type deal, but it had like busted open. But I was like, I'm just gonna sell it for parts. It sold for $67.
Almost immediately. It's like
right away,
in under 3 days.
Yeah.
So strange,
Hey, I was clear. It was and it's global shipping. To Korea. So that's cool that people in Korea can buy global shipping stuff.
And then another cool thing we sold was a Burberry sweater for $100.
Yeah, it was a Burberry sweater, a women's Burberry sweater. I just found it at the thrift store.
That's when clothes are great.
Yeah, that's when clothes are great.
We did sell a couple pairs of clothes for like $12 too this week.
$11.
Yeah, that's a tough grind. But, it is. Okay, Scavenger of the week?
Nothing. We didn't go shopping.
We did no scavenging.
We were very busy with other things.
We were building that deck.
We were doing maintenance at the other house.
Yeah, so we didn't scavenge at all.
So nothing, no.
Customer issues. So we just had a message, and I don't really know how it's working out, but we sent something first class into it's national, right?
Yep.
And it didn't have tracking on it. We got a message from the person that's like, where's my item? The tracking says it hasn't,
Look, there are certain
America.
There are certain countries that just have full tracking on first class. England, Japan, Australia, Canada. There's a handful of them, right? Germany.
So where was the person that...
This person was in South Africa.
Why did you send it first class?
Because it was before we decided, look, we're only going to do global shipping or priority.
Right.
I still cannot tell you if a priority mail package will have full tracking to South Africa. I have no idea.
So how do we handle it? We just said...
I told him, and I did this, that I will open a missing mail case with the post office. But the problem is that's going to take... They take several weeks to get back to you.
Yeah.
And they'll say, hey, we're still looking for this. And you're like, oh, that took 3 weeks.
I mean, so the technique is, the strategy is just to tell them something like, I'm working on it.
I'm working on it.
And we actually do. Like,
I'm going to do
try and find something. But the thing is to make them not open up a case.
Right.
So maybe they wait, hoping that the item will get to them by that time.
By that time.
Because, you know, we assume like it's caught in customs.
Any of those things.
It could be something. But the problem is like, that person could even get the package. We don't even know it, and they could still say, I didn't get the package.
Because the tracking doesn't
show. So that's why
it's tough, man.
Some people are like, I don't mind doing first class, but we don't. We're like global shipping all the way. Because it's great for a buyer. They're like,
cheap.
Send this thing to me first class. I don't want to pay all these other costs. And it's great for them, but you as the person that sells the item, you're responsible.
On the line. Yep.
And because there's no tracking in many of these places, you're the one that's going to get
I had a couple people message me yesterday. It was 2 different people in 2 different countries. Can you please send this first class? And I was just like, nope. I will not get the sale. I don't care, because it's not going to have tracking to those places.
Right. Okay, our coming week. We are still doing odds and ends at our rentals because it's still like the end of it's winter time and we're not fully booked up. So we're like, doing like spring cleaning,
little maintenance things, just making sure everything's good.
Like we don't want to improve things and fix anything that's broken. I mean, In March, we have a rental that is booked 27 of 31 nights. It's almost fully booked.
I looked at the calendar and I was like, what is going on with
We're going to be doing a lot of cleaning. Our cleaner's going to be doing a lot of cleaning. But, we hope that this spring, summer, and fall are just packed. Like, this is what we live for,
Especially with 2 rentals.
Right.
That's why we have 2 washer-dryer stacks.
It's true.
People.
And, again, we only talk about that because we just felt like a rental business and eBay really work hand in hand.
They do. They work great together.
You could have a laundromat and eBay work hand in hand.
A laundromat. An actual laundromat,
A food cart and eBay would go hand in hand. You could run a food truck. You could run like a home preschool in eBay. That would go hand in hand.
Get those kids to pack that stuff for you.
That's right.
Ooh. Oh, good idea. Okay, so what did you cook this week?
I made, a morning, very simple. I cooked a chicken in the Instant Pot.
Yep.
Shredded the chicken.
Yep.
And then I have these pre-made salad bowls, like salad bowl covers, And I just made a bunch of salads. Chicken salads.
Did you use some of my roasted sunflower seeds?
I did.
I roasted these sunflower seeds, just raw, not in the shell or anything. And I thought they tasted really bad, and Jay's like, I'll eat them.
Yeah, just throw them in there. It's like
cool.
protein. Let's do it.
You made kimchi. We started eating the kimchi.
Yep, and it was delicious. And Orion was
literally putting it on everything.
Orion was skeptical, but it's really like, again, if you cook for it yourself, I find like you can start eating the same thing again and again.
And it gets boring.
So it's just like that kimchi is something that you just throw on like some chicken or
anything. I threw it in a bunch of soup.
Yeah, and it gives that kind of sour, spicy.
It's so good. I made delicious. Like keto, low carb tuna melts, and I put it on that. It was so good. It was like gourmet. I felt like I was in Brooklyn.
So actually, after this podcast. I'm going to make some more kimchi because it takes about 2 weeks to kind of get it
it's like you got to get it in line so that you're not eating through it.
And then you're going to make some homemade yogurt.
I'm going to make homemade yogurt in the Instant Pot. Yep. It's really funny because someone on the forum was like, can you start making cooking videos? I'm like, oh my God, I barely have time to do anything. So although I would love to do that. Right. I think that would be so fun to put videos on our channel.
Hey
guys. Check out there's some things I've done in the Instant Pot, like low carb things that I absolutely love.
Well, we do have on the forum, there is like
a food forum.
Like a part of the forum, like a thread, I don't know.
It's under random thoughts.
Right, and it's about food, and so people post their fun...
like recipes and stuff.
I'm going to sketch out what why I love our life. So after this is done here, we turn it off.
Change the subject.
And so I'm gonna start a fire.
Yeah.
In a wood stove.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crackling.
I know, it's gonna be it's very cold and rainy.
A warm heat will just be radiating, and you can stand by it, and it just like
it washes over you.
That heat. I'm gonna turn on some music.
Yeah.
I've been listening to Boards of Canada, which I love. Like,
it's
I love
so
old
funny.
albums.
You're so funny to me. Yeah, I love.
It just reminds me of just like a certain period of it's my life where I loved him, and then I'm gonna be making the kimchi. Like right now, it's soaking in the salt.
Yep.
You're gonna be making the
yogurt.
Our cat's gonna be running around, meowing, wanting something that they don't know what they want. They just want something.
Yeah, it's like very cozy. It's very cozy.
I love that, and you know what? And the great thing is, it's a Sunday. We're not going to have that feeling of tomorrow.
It's Monday. Dread. Monday dread.
Oh my God, tomorrow. I got to go to work.
I got to wake up and go to school.
Mitch is going to be asking me to do these things. I got to present to my coworkers.
If you got paid $250,000 a year, would you have Monday dread? I ask you that.
I've met people that get paid even that much money because people don't pay you that kind of money to not do anything. So anyway, it's true. It's nice. Yeah. Okay. So let's answer the questions that people
called in about. The phone number is 540-407-8486. You have 3 minutes to leave a message.
Hi guys, this is Kara again, just calling back to clarify about my weird eBay bug. I noticed it because of people trying to buy multiples of the same item, but it was also happening with people that wanted to buy 2 items, different items from different listings. So they would get a message that said that they're like an error message that said, you are not able to buy more than 1 item from this seller every 10 days, which is so strange. One of my buyers was really awesome helping troubleshoot it, and she actually sent me a screenshot of the actual message. So anyway, so still happening, not sure why, just trying to figure that out. The thing that I was cracking up about was your discount ride-sharing service that you guys were talking about, because my husband and I have been joking about it for a long time, creating an app called Get You There, because it's not pretty, but it'll get you there. We have a really old pickup truck. My car's gross and old, and I haul dogs in it all the time, so I figured there'd be a platform for someone that needed a ride for them and their gross dog. So anyway, thanks again. Bye.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that something weird is happening with your store like that.
Yeah, I mean, those are things where just like, that would be crazy.
Yeah, why does eBay even have a restriction that comes up like that?
Right. I mean, especially since, most things...
weird.
Like, most things that sell on eBay are like the brand new kind of wholesale stuff. Like, we're in the little corner of the internet where we're all selling like little old shoes and old weird stuff. But most stuff that sells on eBay is like more like Amazon stuff. Right. And so I would think like that would be
like
the
a
whole
major
thing.
Problem.
Like
right?
I need to buy, 4 brand new, rolls of tape or something.
Yeah.
That's strange that doesn't work.
Yeah, it's just weird that there's even a thing where you can only buy one thing from the seller every 10 days. Why is that even a restriction? It's like, what could you... Yeah, that's bizarre. The other thing you were talking about is, what we were talking about is creating an app that makes you not need a fancy car. Ride-sharing app.
Yeah. Not to get too much into it, but there was a time in my life where I lived in Africa for a short period of time. Specifically in the Congo. And, anyway, I would take little taxis. Yeah. Just on the street, but
they were just people's cars, right?
It was just people's cars, yeah. People would just be driving their cars, and it's a poor country, and so people would be driving cars that really it was just like felt like it was kept together with like duct tape. Yeah. And I remember one car specifically. I just hopped in the back seat, and there was no bottom to the car.
There was no floor.
Like there was, you would put your feet on just like pieces of like the actual frame of the car. And so it's kind of cool. You'd be driving and
don't drop anything.
And just everyone in the car, because I mean, it was the kind of thing too where like they would crank, you know, it'd be just like a regular car and there'd be like 6 of us in there. And they just thought it was so funny and crazy that I was driving in their car. But it's fun.
So basically that's going to be what our app is like. Like, my car is filthy. Come on in.
Yeah, come on.
Let's
Hop in the back of the truck.
Go to Walmart.
Let's do it.
Come on.
Hey, Jay and Ryan. I just want to give you all a call, let you know about a weird thing I had happen once with a guy who got my number off eBay. So basically what happened was the guy went through my store, commented a whole bunch about different items I had and saying he had similar items. And anyway, it went on for a couple hours and I just ignored all his messages. And then the dreaded thing happened, which I thought would be dreaded. He started buying a bunch of my items. So anyway, he bought $150, $200 worth of my items. And then about 2 hours later, I got a weird phone call from Wisconsin and I just ignored it. And he left me a voicemail, and what he wanted to know is if he could buy a few more of my items off of eBay, and he wanted to just trade me things that I sold. So long story short, I've ended up making a really good relationship with an older gentleman, and he sends me tons of vintage fishing lures and reels in exchange for some different items. And in the beginning, I was a little nervous. He sent me a pictures that he was going to mail me about $400 worth of stuff, and he wanted me just to go ahead and send it at the same time. I ended up not doing that and waiting till it came in, and then now, since then, I've had a good relationship with this guy, and he sent me all over $1,000 worth of stuff, and I get the same price I would get on eBay minus the fees now. So anyway, sometimes eBay giving you a number can be good. I know I'll probably get chastised for saying this, that I do it with stuff off of eBay, but hey, they gave him my number, so what can I do? Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.
Hey, I mean, no one's going to chastise at you here. You know, that's...
Yeah.
We've also had people, you know, every once in a while we'll have people... you know, message us like, I got a whole house full of this stuff, you know.
That happens frequently.
You know, like, they'll see we sell, like, a military item, and they're like, I have, you know, my mom died or my dad died, and I have a whole house full. You want to buy this from me? Yeah. Do you want to buy 500 of these?
Yeah. And we're like, no.
Yeah. So I'm glad that it worked out. That's good.
No, that's great. It's a great story. It's cool when something like that works out. And, yeah, I always get nervous when, like, someone's messaging, and then they buy, and then they call you. You're like, what?
And that's a good point. You know, if eBay's going to give out the phone number, then that gives people the ability to connect to each other.
Off of eBay.
Outside of eBay.
Right.
I mean, the only reason why, you know, I'm not about, like, everything has to be on eBay because you got to follow the rules.
Right.
I mean... Number one is if eBay catches you trying to sell off of eBay, they'll just be like, well, don't sell on our platform. So you got to be careful of that. But the other thing is, I like having a
third party,
a middleman in between me and the person I'm selling to, just to protect me.
Right, exactly.
Because then I don't mind if the person's crazy, because most times I'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's like with our rentals.
Yes.
We'll have people message us like, hey, I'd like to rent this place. Why don't we do it off of, you know, it's whatever site we're trying to, you know, rent on, so we don't have to pay fees. But I'll say, let's just do it here, so that way we're both protected if something goes wrong.
Right, exactly.
You know, because I don't want some random person coming and giving me cash and staying in a place I don't know, and then they trash the place, and then there's
no way to
protection, there's no anything, you know. So the whole point of these people in between us and the people we sell to isn't to, like, they aren't being vampires,
right?
Trying to suck
a lot of people think they are.
They think that.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like it's protection, and so the small amount I pay them is worth, you know,
all of that. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, if I just want to do cash, then I'll just go down to the flea market and sell out of the back of our car and just sell in cash, and you know.
And a lot of people do that too.
Yeah. I'll have a baseball bat, you know, for troublemakers.
It's like selling on Craigslist or whatever. I mean, that's
sure.
just, you can do that too. And like we said, it just, the returns aren't as high, but you can still do that. It's allowed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like being able to sell on eBay.
Yeah.
And, fees suck, but,
Call me.
Hey guys, really enjoy your program. A little tip about a way to get a buyer's phone number without going through the eBay process of contacting them and getting the number and then they get your number. There's a way to do it without going through eBay, through that process. What you do is you go to your seller hub, go over to orders, go down to all orders, and you'll see your list of items that you've sold. Click on the little drop-down box. It'll say something like sell similar. And when you click on that, a bunch of options appear. And one of them near the bottom is view record. When you click on that, it pops up with the buyer's user ID, the email, their address, and their phone number. Now, I've used that a few times over the last year. About a year ago, I moved, and somehow in the process, some of my inventory has either been lost or mislocated, and I've had a few items that I wasn't able to fulfill. And what I've been able to do is call the buyer, explain the situation, and in fact, I usually offer them $20 free purchasing power in my store. Tell them to find an item for $20, and I'll be glad to send it for free because I explained to them about a seller getting a defect because I really don't want that. I've never had anybody ever choose to purchase anything for the free 20, but what I do is I'll tell them if they would please send me an email requesting a cancellation. And they've all done so. I've been able to cancel because of the buyer deciding to instead of, and that way I don't get a defect. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Maybe it'll help somebody out. Take care, and thanks again for all that you do.
So, yes.
So, I mean, he's saying if someone buys something from you, instead of just having to ask eBay what the phone number is, he can find it out without having to ask.
Right. And, like, for anyone who prints out an invoice before they ship, you'll see their phone number on there. But that doesn't mean the buyer automatically got your phone number, so they don't have your phone number. And a lot of buyers won't provide a phone number, so there is no phone number there. Or they just write 00000 because they don't want someone to have their phone number. So you would still have to ask for the phone number if you wanted it. But yeah, their phone number and their email is on the invoice, like sales record. That is correct. That is true.
Cool little hack.
Yeah. Okay, that is it for the podcast this week. You can check out the blog at scavengerlife.com for the links we discussed and to join the conversation on the forum. You can leave a question or a comment on our voicemail line. Again, that phone number is 540-407-8486. We post an episode every Monday morning. On Wednesday, we post a What Sells video showing what sold, how much it sold for, currently being brought to you by Stephen Schultz. We are ending this podcast in 3, 2, 1.
Goodbye.